Hey folks, Gano here, Survival for Christians. I thought I'd do a little bit something different here and kind of talk a little bit about how to use, preserve, and a lot of those leftovers and other things that happen with the holidays. I don't know about you guys, but we had smoked turkey. And a lot of people, when they have smoked turkey or just turkey in general, they get rid of the carcass. This is the bone carcass here, and I got more over here. And what I'm doing right now is I'm cleaning off all the meat, and what I'm going to do is this is a great means to make turkey stock or chicken stock. And what you do is, again, peel off all the meat, get all the meat that you can off of it, because you're going to use it later in the soup anyways. But it has a lot of flavor in the bones. The bones have a gelatin in them, which makes a soup thicker and makes a great soup. And what I'm going to be using today also, you can see here I've got my Thrive freeze-dried and dehydrated vegetables here. I got more also back on the shelves, but these are just a few that I'm going to add to my soup. So I wanted to actually create kind of a prepper sort of soup using something like a turkey carcass. You know, here's turkey carcass and some Thrive freeze-dried and dehydrated vegetables. So that's what we're doing here, and I thought I'd go through the process of what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. So this is it. Now what I got going here is a big stock pot, and we got water going. Got a few bones, and what I'm going to do is stick this turkey carcass, or the beginning of this turkey carcass, in this water. And what this will do is I'm going to boil it for a while and actually reduce some of the fluid in this pot so that I get a good stock, and it's going to be nice and flavorful. And as you can see here, I've got more of a turkey carcass and bones and stuff. Save those like those drumstick bones and everything. They make great add-on to the stock. Again, there's more meat on this turkey and stuff, but I'm going to use it in this soup. And this soup should last us quite a few days. So a turkey is a great prepper food because you can really feed off of it or eat off of it for quite a few days. You can have the turkey in and of itself. You can then, you know, have turkey sandwiches and all this other stuff. But finally, again, the last thing that you can do is cook off the bones, get a good stock going, and create a nice turkey vegetable soup, or even making it a little bit thicker, turn it into a stew or something. And great for the winter time and warming yourself up and stick to your bones food and everything. So great prepper food. And again, I'm using some of my Shelf Reliance freeze-dried foods here, and I'll be adding these later on to the soup. Got bones, so here's a bone. I'm going to throw it in the pot. What I got here is the big breastbone, and there's quite a few meat still on this. More bone, again, throw it in the pot. But a lot of good meat, skin. Use this skin, cut it up. It's got some good flavor to it. Yeah, it has a little bit of fat, but you know what? In a prepper environment, you're going to need that fat to put fat on your bones and everything. So great flavor, great thing to use. What I'll do is I'll usually chop this up, cut it up, and when I add it to the soup. But go through the meat and pull off all the meat that you can, and try to get it off the bones, because you're going to have to do this anyways. So it's a lot easier to do this when the bird or the carcass is cold versus when it's hot. And we'll show you some of that when it's hot and what we're doing there. And here's the wishbone. But continue to clean this off. Again, I keep a lot of the big bones because these big bones have got some good marrow and gelatin in it. Good like gristle. Gristle will boil down and help add to the flavor of the stock. and it causes the soup or stock to get thick. It's a thickener, so it's really good. So I'll just keep adding. Now, something to watch out for. That little piece here, you know, that holds the wings and stuff together. You want to chuck that puppy. Pope's nose. Pope's nose, for if you don't know what that is, that's the tail of the turkey. Good fatty piece, lots of flavor in that. Let it cook down. Again, another good bone. This is from the wing. Throw it in the stock pot. Pull all this meat off the looks like a back. The back. Nobody eats the back. No, there's nothing really there. But it's got a bunch of little nooks and crannies that has meat and goodies in it. And again, it's a good resource here to clean off and everything. So again, so here's the back, and I'm going to add this to the chicken stock. I mean turkey stock. Excuse me. Well, as you can see, this is the amount of meat that I've gotten off the entire carcass, cleaning it off and everything. I'm going to cut up some of these into more bite-sized pieces. And as you can see, the dogs are sitting here hoping that I'll drop a piece. Catch. But this is what I've pulled off. Good amount of meat. Took a little bit of digging and pulling and everything like that. But got a decent amount of meat that I'll add to my turkey soup here. Hey folks, well, it's been a couple hours now, and I've reduced my stock. You can see that I've switched out pots here, and I have got a beautiful, beautiful stock. I mean, look at this. This is really beautiful. That's awesome. Tastes great. It's nice and rich, full of collagen, and it is just really, really good. Now over here, I've got the bones and stuff, and what I'm doing is I'm letting it cool down, so that I can kind of pick off all the meat and stuff there. As you can see, they're still steaming hot. I just poured all these off and everything, but I let the bones boil, or a rolling boil, for about a couple hours, and this will release all the flavor out of the bones, all the collagen. The collagen is what makes the soup thick and gives it that rich taste. And so I boiled it off, so you know, you can see I can start taking some of the meat off the bones here and everything. But ouch, hot. That's where we are so far. Off the meat off the bones. You can see I've picked them off pretty good. Not much really left off the bones or anything like that. So I've cleaned them off. Got all the good stuff off of it, and that's what meat left over that I got. Good meat and everything. Which, when you boil the bones, really helps you get this off. Otherwise, this is meat that you're going to miss. Now, all this may seem like a lot of trouble and everything, but down the road, even when things get hard, you're going to really want to know how to stretch a meal, or stretch a bird, or stretch meat, stretch a protein. And this is a good way to do it, is to boil the bones down and really pick off all the meat and everything, and create soup, stews, etc. Some extra beans and some mushrooms left over, so it'd be perfect to throw them into my turkey soup. So we're cutting up some beans, cutting up some mushrooms, getting them ready, and we're going to throw them in the pot. There's, again, a great way to use all those leftovers from the holidays and not let this food go to waste. That's the one thing I hate seeing, is when food goes to waste. That's one of my hot topics, one of my hot buttons, and I have a cow when people waste food and everything. So food is a good resource, food is a good commodity, and I hate to see food being wasted in any way. So that's what I'm doing. Otherwise, what this would have done is just basically sat in the refrigerator and probably turned into some sort of science experiment. I've got the beans and the mushrooms in the soup now, as you can see, doing really good. Look at the, I don't know if you can really see this, but look at the texture of the broth. This is from the collagen. It's already starting to thicken up. I mean, it's not super stew thickness, but it's got a thick consistency. It's less watery, and so that's due to the collagen and cooking off the bones and everything. Something I'm going to start adding now is some of my Thrive. This is Thrive freeze-dried corn, which is insane right out of the can. You can eat this like a snack. Absolutely delicious tasting, wonderful. But again, freeze-dried corn, great stuff. This stuff is about, I would say, 12, 13 bucks for a 1-gallon can. And this corn is going to expand. And the taste of it is absolutely insane. Really, really good flavor. These are peas that I have. And in fact, I opened these peas, I think, back last March. And look at these. These are still really good. So I'm going to pour some peas in. Really good peas here. And one of the ways that these stay really fresh is that all the food comes with oxygen absorbers. And so as long as you keep an oxygen absorber in the can and keep the lid on tight, the product will stay nice and fresh. And like I said, I opened these peas up back in, what is it, the date here, March? Yeah, March 24th, 2011. So peas. And just because I like mushrooms, I'm going to add another handful of freeze-dried mushrooms. Now, something that I do is when I run out of stuff, I take the oxygen absorbers and add them to other cans. So I constantly add the older oxygen absorbers to the can. And all of them working together keep the product really crisp, really, really tasty. Doesn't get damp or anything like that. But that's what I do, and it keeps the product very, very good. So I'm going to stir this up into the soup now. I'm going to show you guys something here. This is something that Shelf Reliance has come out. I know this is sounding like a Shelf Reliance commercial, but it isn't, because I believe in cooking with your preps. And because if you don't practice cooking with your preps and start using your preps, when the time comes, you're not going to know how to use them. But this is a great product. This is called instant black beans. They have instant white beans and instant red beans. And as you can see, it's again beans in here. Now, these are been freeze dried, or they're cooked and freeze dried. Actually, I don't really know the process exactly, but they're beans ready to go. 15 minutes, they cook up in 15 minutes. Now, as you can see, I've added some freeze dried broccoli and some freeze dried beans. I'm going to stir them in here now. Again, I wish there was smell-o-vision. You would. It's just insane, the smell that's going through the house right now. Really, really. Okay, folks, this is the finished product. As you can see, incredible turkey soup. Great stuff in it. Very flavorful. Tons of stuff. This is all made from preps. This is all freeze-dried, except for a little bit of green beans and a few mushrooms, as well as some of the meat that I pulled off the turkey bones and everything. But this is a great soup made from the leftovers of a turkey carcass. So again, you can use this for squirrel and possum and raccoon and chicken and whatever little critters that you may want. Great soup, great way. So cooking with preps, turkey carcass prep soup, good stuff.